Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Today's an interesting video for you. Please bear with me. I have a lot of information to discuss, and I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as possible. Today's video, I'm going to share content, but then I'm going to let you just see this from my perspective when I go through this, how I view it. Let's just dive right in. And again, bear with me as we kind of go through this content. I'll try my best to stay focused and on track with this. It gets challenging with the more content you have to discuss. So Stably launches stablecoin on-off ramps on the Stellar network. Integration supports USDC and USDS deposits and withdrawals for Stellar-based wallets and anchors. So Stably, which is a Seattle-based fintech company, announced today the launch of its on-off ramp integration for Stellar USDC, a leading dollar digital currency issued by Circle and governed by the Center Consortium, and USDS, Stably's Stellar-based US digital dollar stablecoin. So this integration extends a widely adopted ecosystem standard to Stellar USDC, allowing Stellar-based applications and wallets to seamlessly facilitate deposits and withdrawals of their assets for the user. In addition, though, Stably's borderless payment account and Stably Prime and Stellar ecosystem will have access to a white label wallet platform that allows its users to serve customers in the US and abroad, leveraging their own brand. So Stably's white label service also extends to stablecoins and providing enterprises the ability to use or issue their own branded Stellar-based stablecoin for use throughout the Stellar ecosystem. And Lobster is the first wallet integration with USDC and USDS on-off ramp support on Stellar available for any user today. Okay, having said that, I want to bring up another article. It's recent, but I can't remember if we pointed it out so much in the previous discussion. So I want to highlight this because it's going to connect here from the rest of this video. How IBM will turn patents into NFTs with its blockchain. And then as we scroll down and get into this article a little bit, the IBM partner IP, we will tokenize patents as non-fungible tokens, the NFTs, according to a press release, and the company will build an infrastructure to store the NFTs, and the objective is to improve the way patents are traded. So IPWE hopes to bring new liquidity to the asset class for investors. And as we scroll down just a little bit, the use of NFTs to represent patents will help create completely new ways to interact with IP. And this is expected to benefit not only the large enterprises that have significant intellectual property, but it will bring new opportunities to small and medium enterprises and even individual IP owners. So we believe it will usher in new offerings by financial services firms, as stated through the comment. Another point I want to bring up as well, as I stated, Jason Kelly, the general manager for global strategic partnerships for IBM Services, said, "Our work with IPWE is another example of our collaboration with leading innovators to drive outcomes powered by blockchain capabilities and digital assets that have the potential to transform entire industries." And here's where we want to get into a little bit more of the conversation, because let's just click it. Capitalizing on blockchain's promise uniquely delivers NFT fractionalization. And Uniquely's decentralized and permissionless protocol empowers the community to fractionalize, combine, and trade non-fungible tokens collections through sharding, improving overall NFT accessibility and fungibility through its novel design. I'm just going to keep flipping through because I really want to point out a few things without getting lost too much in the entire article. But again, as every video that we do, if you're interested in reading the full content, the links are always available in every single video in the description below. So why Stellar is best suited for asset tokenization? And again, you can see as Stellar marches on flaunting its unbridled potential to underpin the imminent global asset tokenization. The Smartlands Victor Krikoten pens a brilliant write-up on ICO versus STO. What is a security token and why the Stellar network is perfect for STO. And there's a link, you can actually click on and see it there. And this is also an article by Smartlands as well on Medium, directly in regards to the Smartland platform. And Smartlands tokenizing everything, real estate, etc. on the Stellar network. And obviously we've shown the Smartlands token as well, and I believe it will do extremely well also. And then you have how to create a token on the Stellar blockchain network. And this article goes through and breaks it down. Most of the startups release their tokens on Ethereum because it has a good ecosystem and is Turing complete. But Ethereum has some downsides as well. Ethereum carries out 14 transactions per second. It is becoming a real issue now and is causing existing dApps to move off of the Ethereum platform. Therefore, it is good to look at other options. And also, too, we've shown as well how Stellar blockchain is incorporating the Turing complete smart contracts, and obviously the speed is much faster, and it's much secure, and a lot less fees. If you've been around long enough, you may be a new investor, and all of this may not make a lot of sense yet, but if you've been around for a few years and you've used Ethereum and you've had to pay those fees, for example, moving an ERC20 off of like an exchange into your wallet, you're smacked with a huge fee right there. Now when it comes time to, exchange, swap, sell, cash out, whatever you want to label it, when you move it back off of that wallet into an exchange to be able to liquefy that asset, you're hit again with another huge fee. And sometimes those fees are higher than the actual amount of the asset of the ERC20 token that you actually have. So assets, in this case, specifically stating like XLM, extremely fast, extremely cheap. And again, it can do, in my opinion, much more than what Ethereum can do. And I believe as it continues to grow, a lot more people will see the difference between the two. Again, as the article states, they're moving off of the Ethereum platform for those reasons. So the largest U.S. patent holder, IBM, taps the IPW to launch the NFT marketplace, and the largest U.S. patent holder has teamed up with the world's first global patent market to launch NFTs based on intellectual property. And I believe we heard that from the last administration extensively in regards to intellectual property. So even if retail investors can't yet buy patent-based tokens, they will be able to use the resulting data to see how or whether a company has monetized its IP. That is, if the company decides to mint NFTs based on its intellectual property. So Spangenberg explained that IPW won't mint NFTs without the patent holder's permission and will work with a person or company to set an initial price. And then again, this brings up to me Litemint. For example, Litemint is like an NFT marketplace built on Stellar. So again, you can scroll through that as well, and you can see the same things. And the reason I'm pointing that out on all of the sound is because Stellar and IBM are very solid partners, and they're all integrated and connected. But what I want to get into next is breaking. UBS seeks to offer crypto to its wealthy clients. And this is going to lead into my perspective here. The major bank of Switzerland, UBS, sees rising demand for crypto from its wealthy customers and is responding to it promptly. And then UBS clients might invest small amounts in crypto, and according to unnamed sources at Bloomberg, UBS intends to offer its wealthiest customers to invest a small percentage of their net worth in alternatives to traditional assets, cryptocurrencies. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because IBM launches cryptocurrency cross-border payments. And here's letting you into my perspective. When you start hearing specific names and you start hearing specific companies, and then everything starts coming back together. So IBM is also working with UBS and a number of banks on a similar project under the name Batavia, both powered by Hyperledger's Fabric. And I've shown you many times, if you follow this channel, how Stellar is an associate member, and it is also woven into the Hyperledger Fabric. And more banks joined UBS and IBM's trade finance blockchain project. This was a link from the previous article. Each one of these are connected to the article before it. So then you have the Batavia, and speaking to GTR, Fabio Keller, project lead for Batavia at IBM, says the development of the platform, which will be powered by the Hyperledger Fabric framework, has now commenced. And that's the link that you click, and it'll bring you here into the 3 uses for blockchain and banking. And then we're going to scroll down here a little bit. 5 banks and IBM are developing a blockchain-based trade finance platform called Batavia, built to be openly accessed by organizations big and small around the world, and the platform is designed to help support the creation of multi-party cross-border trading networks. And again, the next link from that article brings you up to this page, and then you can see Batavia advances the work initiated by UBS and IBM to develop a trade finance platform built on the IBM blockchain platform, again powered by Hyperledger Fabric blockchain framework. And then the article had another link, and it came to IBM Trade Blockchain completes first smart contract transactions. And then again, it goes into IBM's Batavia blockchain system. And again, this link here, which we clicked, will bring up shortly. So again, here you have it again. IBM is simultaneously working towards a global payment system based on the Stellar decentralized exchange, and IBM's Jesse Lund had previously said that the Stellar-based payment system might be recommended to clients alongside solutions such as Batavia to better automate every aspect of a transaction. Then we had the link pull up from here. IBM, we already used Stellar Lumens Live, much more in Q2 2018, bringing up, obviously, just to show the connection and the timeline of how long they've been connected for you new investors. Then it states private transactions will be enabled by Lightning adoption in Stellar, and we are actively exploring this with banking and financial institutional clients who want exactly what you described. Then we have the straightforward guide to Bitcoin's Lightning Network. And then as we get into the article here, the how do you put money into Lightning Network after opening a node is a little section, a paragraph here, or I should say a few paragraphs here in the middle of the article. And the good news is that Bitcoin isn't the only Lightning Network compatible coin. It just happens to be the first and the one of the coins that might benefit the most. There will most likely be also a separate Litecoin blockchain Lightning Network and a Stellar Lumens Lightning Network and others. We already know there is the Lightning on Stellar, and this is the technical spec and the roadmap. Then you pretty much start connecting them all together, and you can see how they're in there. But again, as it's stated with IBM, we've shown back even in 2019, Stellar XLM is stated the invisible currency. All right, guys, that's a little bit into my perspective when I caught those 2 headlines recently from this week. That literally flashed through my head like that, and it was very difficult not to keep going. I could have added like 50 more articles with that, but I kind of had to shorten it down to that to make my point. And that's where it gets very challenging to keep focus when there's so much going on. And I hope that was very clear on what I was sharing with that and how well-founded the Stellar network really is. It's a very massive network, as we've shown for the past few years. Now, China's much-hyped digital yuan fails to impress early users in a recent article today as China moves closer to rolling out the world's first major sovereign digital currency. Speculation over the global implications has reached a fever pitch. So historian Niall Ferguson is calling the digital yuan a potentially fatal challenge to decades of American financial hegemony. Franklin Templeton's Michael Hazenstaub says it could undermine the dollar's role. As the world's reserve currency, Joe Biden's White House is studying the potential threat to U.S. interest. And do I need again to point out here the Ant Group, the Tencent Holdings, and Franklin Templeton's connection to Stellar as well? Or do you follow closely enough to remember that Franklin Templeton has a SEC registered that we've shown multiple times on Stellar? And again, the Franklin Templeton holds assets under management a little over, I believe it was 1.2 or 1.4 trillion in assets. And you can see again how even this still connects to Stellar. Now, the next article under the shadow of the SEC, David Schwartz has been tinkering with Ripple's payment tools. So with Ripple's legal troubles in the background, the firm's CTO David Schwartz is focusing on improving its payments network. And according to Schwartz, recent technical improvements to Ripple's XRP ledger will help make the system a better alternative to certain cross-border payment systems. All right, FLR validators FTSO.EU join XRPL Labs and the Ripple CTO in supporting amendments to XRP ledger. Okay, into the article, FTSO.EU, an Oracle service for FLR, the FLR, supports the reduction of transactional barriers on the XRP ledger. And getting into that, what does that mean? Basically, the FTSO.EU is one of the first validation services of the Oracles, and they'll be the first to confirm the FLR transactions, which is a much anticipated XRPL utility fork. And it supported the proposal to lower the minimum reserves required to perform some actions on the XRP ledger. And the today an XRPL account needs to store at least 25 XRP as the account reserve, and the discussion is moving down into 10 XRP, and i.e. the trust lines to 2 XRP. So I think that's pretty significant, especially as you see the price of XRP to continue to climb. So, at 25 XRP, when XRP was 13 cents, that's not so much of a big deal. But XRP, as now we're getting into the dollars, and then we're going to soon hit double and triple digits and beyond. If it's still holding 25 XRP, you can see the significance of how much value that would be holding from an investor. Also, too, XRP holders scored a major win. FEMEX is to relist XRP. And as we get down to last year, FEMEX suspended trading for XRP due to the lawsuit filed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, against Ripple Labs for the alleged sales of the unregistered security. But having shortened that, everyone knows the story. It is relisted now back onto FEMEX. And a few people on Twitter today said they're already trading on FEMEX, so they're very excited. And again, guys, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. And I hope you enjoyed all of that content. It is a challenge when there is so much to discuss. And remember, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Also, too, I want to say thanks to our VIP on Patreon, Surfmeister, and to each and every one of you. And if you don't mind, hit that subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.